What's up, my dudes? Haiden Deegan crashed? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah. Now, you wouldn't know that if you were watching the broadcast because they didn't show any of it. I mean, what the hell, boys? So, in the moment, if you remember, when Tom Vialle went over that jump and there was a lapper that was wrecked on the downside of the tabletop and they were praising Tom Vialle for being able to avoid the lapper. Well, you know, gee, I don't know. The points leader is right behind Vialle, hits the lapper square, flips Deegan completely off the bike. I'm talking brutal, gnarly, could have ended his championship kind of crash. And, you know, we just had absolutely no idea about it until completely after the race. What the hell were y'all boys doing up there in that broadcast booth? Spency Boy needs to know right now. What were y'all doing? Ricky? Bobby? What was y'all doing up there? What the hell was y'all smoking on? I mean, shit. Like, so, yeah, this explains the whole thing about why Deegan had his worst moto of the year. You know, it's been since last year, since he had, like, you know, a 6th place finish or whatever. This was the whole reason. But just, if you're just watching the race on TV, you just thought Deegan was having a bad race, or, you know, there was like no explanation for it. So, listen, I know a lot of people are talking about, there was no flaggers out. Where were the flaggers? Bro, I mean, the dude wrecked on the backside of that tabletop, and Deegan was already in the air about, you know, maybe 0.2 seconds later, a second later, maybe. I don't know how much of a case of being able to blame the flaggers on this one. I really don't think there was enough time between the lapper crashing on the backside of the tabletop and how fast Deegan was there behind him already in the air on the jump. I really don't think a flagger would have saved, or I just don't even think it would have been possible for a flagger to have seen the guy crashed and then waved it in front of Deegan in time. I just don't see that happening. I think Deegan was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, too close. And, you know, he just so happens to come off that jump face a little bit more to the left than Tom Vialle did. You know, Tom Vialle just barely missed the guy as he was landing and crashing. And then by the time the guy wrecked, I mean, Deegan's already in the air. Like, what the hell is he going to do? And what the hell would a flagger have been able to do? I just really don't even, I don't know. I think some people are kind of getting mad that, you know, they're big fans of Deegan and this could have costed him the championship. You know, I get it, but like, let's be real. If you go back and look at the video, and if you guys haven't seen the video of this crash, it's worth a watch, bro. I mean, Deegan wadded his brains out, bro. Thank God he's built out of that James Stewart rubber or something. I don't even know. Them boys seems like they can just absolutely flip and fly and fling off the bike. Brutal impacts and just get right back up. You know, broken visor, go out there and get, you know, top 10 in the moto. Deegan actually did post a video about this, talking about, you know, no flaggers, didn't see the flaggers, landed on the lapper. You know, He, I guess, claims not to really be injured from that. It's one of those crashes. I don't know how the hell you wouldn't be some kind of something. But there have been a few times James Stewart's been able to absolutely wad his shit like that and not get injured from it. But I don't even know if Deegan would say if he was injured from it or not. You know, at this point in the championship, he's going for his first championship. He's got that points lead. I don't even know if he would say it, even if he had a small little, you know, whatever, wrist injury or a little whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just seems to me like Deegan would, it's in his best interest just to act like nothing even happened. He's going to come out in the next round, be the same guy. The thing about that is we're just going to have to wait and see, but it certainly wasn't like a big confirmed injury, and he was able to get up from it with whatever sort of bike damage and whatever sort of, temporary damage. There's kind of a difference between dudes can have a wreck and be like kind of temporarily shook up for the rest of that individual race, but not be like totally injured. Kind of like Hunter Lawrence when he flipped over the bars going down the hill on the roughness. He might not have as good of a moto or as good of a day that day, but he may be able to come back in the next round and be right back to where he was pre-crash. That could certainly be the case with Deegan in this situation, but I'm just saying right now, even if he did injure something, I don't think he would say that at this point. I just don't. I think he would keep it secret. Still good enough to get 6th, but if all he can do is go out there and get 6th or 9th place in the rest of the motos, you start adding that up in your head. If Hymas goes out there and wins all of them, well, then it's going to be a close battle. Now, the crazy part about this is it just goes to show you that you can have a 69-point lead and it really don't matter. At any point in time, you can come across the tabletop and there can be a wrecked lapper that is not your fault at all, and there ain't nothing you can do but land on the guy and fly off the bike, and then your championship is like basically a coin flip on whether or not you get injured on the crash or you make it out of it. This is just what I talk about when I say how unpredictable this sport is. More times than not, from how long I've been watching motocross and supercross, I'm telling you right now, more times than not, it's what you don't think is going to happen or what you think just would never happen or what the hell are the odds of that happening. More times than not, Spency Boy, the T-Sipper predictor, is telling you, more times than not, that kind of shit is what actually ends up happening throughout a championship than just like the most predictable outcome. You know what I'm saying? Case in point also, Jet Lawrence getting injured now. He had all those championships in a row. People thought he was going to go win another 420 championships, But it just goes to show you, and then with this Deegan situation, wasn't even Deegan's fault, even though he's had enough of his own crashes this year. The helicopter moment and he done got lucky. A couple of other crashes that he's had. He was injured from a crash coming into Supercross, probably the reason why he didn't really win the Supercross championship, okay? So, Deegan's done kind of been in and out of that injury bug kind of thing. So we get to RedBud, and I mean, Deegan's still riding good. Looked like he was going to have another good moto, but what the hell are you supposed to do about the roll of the dice odds of a random lapper hitting a kicker on a jump face and your competition in front of you just narrowly misses it by a hair thread, but then there's nowhere for you to go. Motherfuckers on the landing, there's just nowhere to go. I just feel like there is a element of luck involved in winning championships. Of course, the harder you train, the better you are, the more lucky you're going to get, but it doesn't guarantee anything. It just doesn't. There's been a lot of times it's looked like a certain rider has got that championship in the bag. Austin Fortner that one year in Supercross, Adam Cianciarulo that one year or multiple years in Supercross. And then some crazy ass shit just happens out of nowhere, whether it's that rider making a mistake and damaging the bike and they can't finish the race, or, bike malfunctions, lappers being down. That's just another element of it that you throw into that sort of gamble that it is every time the riders get on the bike and go out there for a race. I'm telling you, it really don't matter the points lead that you have. It just doesn't. You think about one moto being 25 points, well, all it really takes is to have one big crash like Deegan had running into that lapper and then getting injured. And then you could have had Deegan could have literally had a 100-point lead And it wouldn't have mattered if he couldn't have showed up to the last, 5 rounds. It just wouldn't have mattered. So that's what I'm saying. If I've ever seen a sport in my life where it is truly not over until it is over, it's motocross, man. Hell yeah, brothers. Make sure you're drinking that tea. The daily dose of tea that you got to be drinking. You know what I'm saying? You got to be drinking that tea, boys. Spency boy, drink the tea. Drink the tea. Spency boy, drink the tea. I promise it'll make you 25% faster on the bike if you drink the tea, bro. Hell yeah.